Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the second unit in history, which is from trade to territory. Synopsis of the lesson. In this session, we are going to see the following topics. The first one is introduction part. Next, we have establishment of political power by the English East India Company. Under this, we have Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. Next, we have Carnatic Wars. Carnatic Wars are classified into three, that is, First Carnatic War, Second Carnatic War, and Third Carnatic War. In today's class, we are going to see the First Carnatic War. In the history first lesson, that is, Advent of the Europeans. Here, Advent means arrival of the Europeans. We have seen that the Europeans mainly entered into India for trading purpose. So, in the 15th century, Europe witnessed an era of geographical discoveries through land and sea routes. In 1498, Vasco da Gama of Portugal, he discovered a new sea route from Europe to India. The main motive behind those discoveries was trading purpose and to establish political supremacy, which means to establish political power. So, the main purpose for a discovery of new sea route is for trading purpose. So, especially for spice trading. So, what is mean by spice? A spice is a seed, fruit, root, bark or other plant substance primarily used for flavoring or coloring food. Spices are distinguished from herbs, which are the leaves, flowers or stems of plants used for flavoring or as a garnish. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth granted sole right of trade to the English East India Company. According to this, no other trading group in England could compete with the East India Company. The company did not have to fear competition from other English trading companies. So, in 1600, Queen Elizabeth of England, she gave a permission to the English traders to set up a factory at India. So, permission means she issued a charter. After getting the permission, the English traders, they arrived at India. So, the merchant named Captain Hawkins, he visited Jahangir's court. Jahangir was the Mughal emperor at that time. So, Captain Hawkins, he visited Jahangir's court to get permission to set up a factory at Surat. Then, on getting the permission from the emperor, the British established the British East India Company in India. In 1717, Farrukh issued a farman giving the British East India Company the right to reside and trade in the Mughal Empire. They were allowed to trade freely except for a yearly payment of 3000 rupees. This was because William Hamilton, a surgeon associated with the company, cured Farrukh of a disease. Let me explain this. In 1717, Farrukh is a Mughal emperor. He issued a farman. Here, farman means a license, giving the British East India Company the right to reside. Here, reside means live in or occupy, and trade in the Mughal Empire. They were allowed to trade freely except for a yearly payment of 3000 rupees. This was because William Hamilton, a surgeon associated with the British East India Company, he cured one type of Farrokshire disease, but the British misused the foreman. Here, foreman means license given by the Farrokshire. Then Alivardi Khan, the Nawab of Bengal, died in 1756. So, Alivardi Khan, he is the Nawab of Bengal. He died in the year 1756. After him, Alivardi Khan's grandson Sirajuddaulah ascended the throne of Bengal. Here, ascended the throne means he became the Nawab of Bengal. So, after him, Alivardi Khan's grandson Sirajuddaulah became the Nawab of Bengal. After ascending the throne, Sirajuddaulah also opposed the British East India Company for misusing the foreman, that is license, issued by Farrokshire. So, Sirajuddaulah decided to teach British a lesson by attacking over their political settlement of Calcutta. So, what they did is, there was a small dungeon room in the Fort William in Calcutta where troops of the Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaulah, held 146 British prisoners of war for one night. Next day morning, when the door was opened, 123 of the prisoners found dead because of suffocation. Here, dungeon means jail, cell or prison. Suffocation means difficulty in breathing. Let me explain this. In order to teach a lesson to British, he captured 146 British prisoners at Calcutta Fort William. Then, on the next day, when they opened the door, 123 were found dead because of suffocation. Suffocation means difficulty in breathing. So, remaining 23 survived. So, this incident was considered as the Black Hole tragedy in history. Black Hole tragedy took place in the year 1756. So here we can see the picture of the Black Hole tragedy. So then what happened? Followed the Black Hole tragedy, Robert Clive recaptured Fort William. Robert Clive, he is a Governor General in the British East India Company. He recaptured the Fort William at Calcutta. Then they signed the Treaty of Alinagar. On 9th February 1757, Treaty of Alinagar was signed between the Nawab of Bengal, that is Sirajuddaulah, and Robert Clive. So, treaty means an legal agreement between the two parties. According to treaty, Nawab will allow the English all the privileges sanctioned to them by Farrokshire. That is, the Nawab should not interfere with the British trading policies. The next one is permit to fortify. That means the Nawab must allow the British to build forts in Bengal. Next one is liberty to coin money in Calcutta. That means the Nawab must not interfere with the British minting system. So, Farrokshire, he gave a right to British to mint the Mughal coins at Calcutta, so the Nawab must not interfere in that process. So these are all the conditions mentioned in that treaty, that is Treaty of Alinagar. So the Black Hole tragedy incident is one of the main cause for Battle of Plassey. Mir Jafar, he is a commander-in-chief. He became favorable for British. The Battle of Plassey took place between the British East India Company and the Nawab of Bengal and his French allies, which means associates or partners. It was fought on 23rd June 1757. Then Siraj-ud-Dowla lost the battle. Why he lost the battle? Because Mir Jafar, he surrendered during the battle time, because Mir Jafar joined with the British. So because of Mir Jafar, Siraj-ud-Dowla lost the battle. Mir Jafar was a commander-in-chief of the army of Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla. He betrayed Siraj-ud-Dowla in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. He supported British military chief Robert Clive in the battle and refused to fight on behalf of Siraj-ud-Dowla. He considered as traitor in history. He did this because he wanted to become the Nawab of Bengal. Britishers made him the Nawab after the Battle of Plassey. Let me explain this. Mir Jafar was a commander-in-chief of the army of Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla. He betrayed Siraj-ud-Dowla. Here betrayed means cheated. So Mir Jafar cheated Siraj-ud-Dowla in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. He supported British military chief Robert Clive in the battle and refused to fight on behalf of Siraj-ud-Dowla. So Mir Jafar was considered as traitor in history. Here traitor means a cheater in history. He did this because he wanted to become the Nawab of Bengal. Why he did means he had a wish to become the Nawab of Bengal. Britishers made him the Nawab after the Battle of Plassey. So students, this battle was considered as a cheating battle in history because Mir Jafar cheated the Nawab. Mir Jafar was just a puppet in the hands of Britishers, which means after the loss of Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal with the British support. Then he became the puppet ruler. Here puppet ruler means he have to do whatever the British orders him. So after the collapse of Bengal, the company gained a huge amount of wealth from the treasury of Bengal and used it to strengthen its military force. The beginning of the British military sway over India may be traced from the Battle of Plassey. It was the most decisive battle that marked the initiation of British rule in India for the next 2 centuries. Now let's see about Battle of Buxar. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, the company was granted undisputed right to have free trade in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Then Mir Jafar also turned against the British. So he also opposed the British for misusing the farman. Here farman means the license given to them Then Mir Qasim was Mir Jafar's son-in-law. The British made Mir Qasim as a Nawab of Bengal. Then Mir Qasim ceded. Here ceded means give up or surrendered Burudwan, Midnapur and Chittagong to the British. Then Mir Qasim shifted his capital from Murshidabad to Mungayar. After some time, Mir Qasim also turned against the British. So, Mir Qasim also opposed the British for the misusage of the free foreman, which means the license provided to them by Farrukhishiyar. Then Mir Qasim joined with Shah Alam II of Delhi and Surjau-Dawla of Oudh. Oudh is a territory, it is a place. Then Battle of Buxar. The Battle of Buxar. The battle was fought on October 22nd, 1764 at Buxar, a small fortified town within the territory of Bihar, located on the banks of the Ganges river, about 130 kilometers west of Patna. It was a decisive victory for the British East India Company. So, the Treaty of Allahabad was signed in 1765. So, in this battle, the British won over the three compiled forces of Surjau-Dawla of Oudh, Shah Alam II of Delhi and Mir Qasim. So, they signed the battle, ended with the Treaty of Allahabad, which was signed in the year 1765. According to the treaty, again British was made Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal. Shah Alam II granted Diwani rights to British. Here, Diwani means right to collect the revenue. Here, revenue means tax of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. So, according to the Treaty of Allahabad, Shah Alam II granted Diwani rights to British. So, what is meant by Diwani? Diwani means right to collect the revenue, which means tax of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Then Surjau-Dawla was given annual pension. So, Surjau-Dawla was given annual pension. Thus, Robert Clive concluded the battle with two separate treaties with Surjau-Dawla and Shah Alam II. So, the dual government system was started in Bengal by Robert Clive. Now, let's see the gist of the Battle of Plassey as well as the Battle of Buxar. First, let's see the Battle of Plassey. As a result of denial of trading rights on 23rd June 1757, Battle of Plassey was fought and it was the first major victory of English in India. Alivardi Khan died in 1756 and Sirajuddaula became the Nawab of Bengal. In 1757, Robert Clive led the company's army against Sirajuddaula at Plassey. Main reason for defeat of the Nawab was that the forces led by Mir Jafar, one of Sirajuddaula's commanders, betrayed means cheated Sirajuddaula and never fought the battle. Then Mir Jafar was promised by Clive to be made Nawab after crushing Sirajuddaula. Then, as per the deal, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal after the defeat and death of Sirajuddaula, but he was the nominal head of Bengal. Here, nominal means minor head of Bengal, and actual power remained in the hands of British. Next, we have the Battle of Buxar. After the defeat at Plassey, Sirajuddaula was assassinated. Assassinated means killed or murdered, and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab. Mir Jafar was just a puppet in the hands of Britishers. In 1764, the Battle of Buxar was fought between Britishers and Mir Qasim. In 1765, Mir Jafar died. In 1765, the Mughal emperor appointed the company as the Diwan of the provinces of Bengal. Next, we are going to learn about Carnatic Wars. In the 18th century, 3 wars were fought between the French and the British for control over the coastal strip of the present-day Tamil Nadu, known at that time as Carnatic. These wars came to be known as Carnatic Wars. The Carnatic region was under the possession of the Nizam of Hyderabad. Now, let's see about the time period of the 3 Carnatic Wars, which was fought between the British and the French. So, the Carnatic Wars are classified into 3, like First Carnatic War, Second Carnatic War and Third Carnatic War. First Carnatic War started from 1746 to 1748. Second Carnatic War started from 1749 to 1754, and Third Carnatic War started from 1756 to 1763. First, we are going to learn about the First Carnatic War. It started from 1744 to 1748. So, what is the reason for this war? The main reason is Austrian War of Succession, England and France in Europe. So, the main reason is Austrian War of Succession. There was a conflict in Austria. Austria is a place in Europe. So, there was a conflict. Who will be the next ruler of Austria? So, the conflict was between the England and the France. So, this is the main reason for First Carnatic War in India. So, it was considered as the echo of the war was felt in India. So, students, this resulted in Battle of Adayar. So, the Battle of Adayar was fought in the year 1746. The Battle of Adayar is also called Battle of Santhom. So, the Battle of Adayar is also known as Battle of Santhom. It was between the Anbaruddin. He is the Nawab of Carnatic region. Carnatic is present-day Tamil Nadu region. So, he appealed the help from the British. A small French army under Captain Paradise defeated the Indian army under Mahfuz Khan. So, students, the main reason for First Carnatic War is the Austrian War of Succession. So, in Austria, there was a conflict between the England and the France. Who who will become the next ruler of Austria. Because of this, the war was fought in India. So, it is the echo of the Austrian War which was felt in India. So, this battle is also called as Battle of Adayar or Battle of Santom. So, the first Carnatic War was won by the French. So, the war ended by the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle in the year 1748. According to this treaty, it brought the Austrian War of Succession to an end. Next, under the terms of this treaty, Madras was returned back to the English, and in turn, the French got their territories in North America. So students, I hope you are clear with First Carnatic War. I have enclosed the classbook instructions in the PDF. Kindly refer it. So now, we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.